This is an invasion game called Alien Invaders. This is a game that is played over a number of lessons and evolves and changes with multiple levels as students improve and develop their understanding of the various concepts of invasion games. At level 1, the idea is to divide the class into 6 equal groups and have one of those groups a different colour. So in this case, we've got 5 black groups and 1 red group. The red group is going to be the alien, and they will be the defenders, and the 5 black groups will be the attackers. At level 1, the learning intention is for students to learn how to move quickly into space to receive a pass. So to achieve this, we have only 1 defender and more attackers. This gives attackers the opportunity to learn how to move into space with less pressure and less defenders in their way. To start the game, we have 1 student from each group step forward in front of their cone and into the game zone, and one of the attacking students will start with the ball. The aim of the game is for the 5 attacking students to pass the ball around and keep it away from the red alien. The 5 attacking students need to touch the ball at least once each to win the game. If the alien intercepts the ball at any stage, then the alien wins the game. So on go, the students will move into the game zone and start to pass the ball around. So this student passes here. Obviously they can move anywhere they want. Alright, so the alien is going to try and intercept those passes. As we can see here, the 2 students to the far left haven't touched the ball yet. So as I said, for the attacking team to win the game, those students need to touch the ball. So they need to be encouraged to move into open space to receive the pass like that student just did. And then hopefully he moves over there. So now every student has touched the ball once. So when that happens, the ball is then passed back to a corner group and everybody else goes to the back of their line like so. And then at this point, after those students go to the back of the line, the next student in line steps forward from each group and they play the same game again with a new set of 6 students. Now at level 1, students that have the ball are allowed to move with the ball, so they can carry the ball just like you could in rugby or football. But as I said, if the alien intercepts a pass and the alien gets the ball, then the alien wins, and then that's the end of the game, so those students go straight to the back of their line like they are now. And then we would start with a new set of students coming in. Now when we're in level 1, even though there's only 1 defender, when students first start playing this game, the alien will actually get the ball quite a lot because students just don't know how to move into space at this stage. So once we get to a stage where the alien isn't getting the ball consistently, so this 5 students have learned how to move into space to receive the pass, we move on to level 2. At level 2, we introduce a new rule called no over-the-top passes. One of the most common situations we'll find in the early stages of playing this game is a situation like this where we have an attacker who has the ball and then the alien puts himself in a defensive position and all other teammates are behind the attacker. So that forces this student to pass over the head of the alien to that particular student there. As I said, at this stage, we're actually going to introduce the rule that students are not allowed to pass over the alien. So this is still focusing on the learning intention of students need to move into space to receive the pass. So at this point, we instruct the student with the ball to wait, and hopefully the students that don't have the ball will actually move into various positions like so that they can do a direct pass rather than straight over the alien's head. So once again here, we have a situation which is a difficult pass. You could probably make that one there, and we can start going around and out the back, and if the alien goes here, then these guys are going to have to move into a more direct position. At level 2, it's really important to introduce the learning intention of making good decisions and encouraging the student who has the ball that they don't need to panic and they don't need to pass the ball. They need to wait until they've got someone in the right spot before they make that pass. Moving on to level 3. At this stage, students should be quite competent at moving into space quickly and making good decisions when they have the ball. So we're going to put them under a little bit more pressure, and we're going to introduce a second defender. So it's now 4 versus 2, 4 attackers, 2 defenders. At this stage, it's a good opportunity to start to talk about zone defense. So we might have this red student covering this zone here, and this red student might try and cover this zone of the court here. Obviously, with more attackers, it's still going to be plenty of opportunities for passes to be made. But hopefully the black students will continue to move around to receive those passes as shown. We can also start to touch on man-on-man or one-on-one defence, and obviously the person who has the ball needs to make the decision to pass to the player that's in the clear. So we go here, and if this player goes to defend here, then we'll go over here. Up until this point, students who have the ball have actually been able to run with the ball, like in rugby or football. We're going to introduce a new rule now, which is more similar to netball, so that the student that has the ball needs to stay in that spot. They're not allowed to move with the ball. This will force students around them to have to make better movements into better positions to receive the pass, because the player that has the ball can't move themselves into the right position. To start the game at level 4, we have one of the students start right in the middle of the court, and all other students start just in front of their cone. When the whistle blows, students will move onto the court, and the ball will start being passed around. As shown here, the player with the ball can't move from that spot, so if defenders start to move, then hopefully these sorts of movements will take place. Oops. One of the other concepts we can introduce at this stage is the concept of zoning off. So if this red defender here is chasing this black attacker, and that player gets the ball, then rather than staying on that attacker, they need to then move onto someone separate to guard them, because the person with the ball can't move anyway, so they need to go and try and guard someone else. So once again, if this player pushes up and gets the ball, the player that was on him will move to someone else. Okay, at level 5 we move to even teams. So in this case it's 3-on-3, but depending on the size of the class you could have 4-on-4. So once we get to level 5, students should be really competent and have a really good understanding of what it means to move into space and to constantly be moving to receive the pass. So to start the game, we have the attacking team with the ball in the middle, and on the whistle everyone will move into the game zone, and defenders will move, and we should see a genuine one-on-one type setup, which will force attackers to have to make sharp movements to receive the pass, like so. The other thing to do at this stage of the game is to have smaller groups, so only having maybe 2 students per cone, so that there's less waiting time while they're not playing, and maybe have 2 games happening simultaneously at once within the class. The learning intention at level 5 should really be focused more around defence and one-on-one defence, and what it means to mark a direct opponent and move with them and try and stop that player from getting the ball. Students should be really competent with attacking movements by this stage. The other thing I'd do at level 5 is introduce a scoring element and say that every time a team completes a successful pass, they score 1 point for their team. I'd give them a target of, say, 10 points, and the team that can complete 10 passes first wins the game. So in this example here, the black team completes 1 pass, 2, 3, 4. But if the red team was to intercept the pass, like so, then the roles change, and then the red team becomes the attacking team. So they want to try and score their 10 passes as quickly as they can. 2, 3, 4, and so on. This provides an opportunity for the teacher to talk about phases and stages of the game, and being able to think and change their mindset quickly from attacking mindset to defensive mindset based on whether their team has the ball or doesn't have the ball. Once a team completes their set number of passes, whatever that may be, then they win the game, and after they win the game, they just simply go to the back of the line as they have been the whole time, and then a new set of students will come in and start the game like so. Another way of playing at level 5 is to simply just give them a time limit of 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, and the team that can complete the most amount of passes and therefore score the most amount of points in that time frame wins the game, and then we swap over to having the next lot of players come into the game. So at level 6 we can now start to introduce a goal scoring element, and there's a variety of different ways that goals could be used. It could be a soccer goal, it could be a basketball ring, it could just be a mat that someone stands on. At this stage I would play the game exactly the same way, and I would say that the rule is students must complete a set number of passes before they can try and score a goal. So let's say the amount of passes is 10, so the black team starts with the ball. So the black team start with the ball and they start passing the ball around. 2, 3, 4, so on. But if the red team intercept the pass, then they become attackers, so then they need to try and pass it around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and once they have completed their 10 passes, then they can try and score a goal. Bang, and goal. So that's basically the game Alien Invaders. Level 7 is the final level, and at level 7 you can start to introduce sports-specific equipment. So rather than just passing and catching like we have been, which is more similar, I guess, to netball, we can start to introduce a soccer ball and play the game by kicking. We can use a football and handballing or kicking. We could use a basketball and incorporate the skills of dribbling the basketball. It could be played with hockey. Basically any invasion game, just change the ball and the equipment that is used, but play exactly the same way.